Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff.
I'm Brady Andrews from SalesForce.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Can I sit down?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you mind if I take notes today?
I don't.
Thank you very much. So I want to respect your 15 minutes
Okay.
that you do have today with me, and so I'd like to get right into the problems that we can solve for you today with SalesForce.
Okay.
So, I've read a lot about the founding of Five, and the 5 founders,
Mm-hmm.
and tell me more about how your company's structured and organized.
Okay. Well, Fly was founded by myself and 4 close friends from college. We are an energy advisory and brokerage firm created by senior executives from our deregulated energy sector. Our sales team are working extremely hard to keep up with our growth as well as managing existing relationships. We have done pretty well at getting our name out there, but things are not running as smooth when you start a business.
Oh, I definitely understand that. What would you say has been the biggest obstacles in starting the company and the challenges you've mainly faced in the past?
Okay. Well, we have grown steadily between 120 and 130%, which has been tremendous. We've been given so many opportunities to choose our path, and that's why we have come to you. We've been trying to increase our growth rates of around 150% over the next few years, but with our current B2B process, that might be a stretch. I think the only way to achieve this is to change how we interact with our customers.
I agree. 120, 130% is fantastic. I think the only way that we'll be able to get to 150 is if you improve your B2B processes with something like our platform to improve the relationships you have with your customers that ultimately drive up profit. So, Jeff, tell me about Five. Where do you see yourself in about 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5, as we discussed, growth is probably the biggest thing on our agenda. We've done well, but I think that's the only tip of the iceberg for Five. We also need to not waste our customers' time with oversaturating our potential buyers with multiple employees. Improving CRM would be a huge goal for us.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely see how that could be a problem. And for you to get to where you want to be in 3 to 5 years, I think improving the CRM would be the first step. B2B processes are completely undervalued. You don't want your customers feeling like their time's been wasted or that you're wasting your employees' time.
Exactly.
So getting all your employees on the same page would be a huge plus for your company, would it not?
Yes.
Awesome. So how is the working environment at Five? Does your team usually collaborate together, your sales teams, or do they usually work more independently?
Well, we tend to have confusion amongst our sales team members. They usually have multiple employees contacting the same buyers. This oversaturation leads to poor relationships and ultimately lose Five's business. This falls on the founders for not tackling this problem when we notice it, but that's why we come to you.
That sounds good to me. A follow-up question. How many people currently use some sort of CRM system, whether it's the same system or different systems among different employees? How many people do you think use a CRM at your company?
Around 100 as of right now.
100. That's good news because that's an easy amount of employees to train with our top-of-the-line training that we use at SalesForce.
Right.
We have to implement at much bigger companies, and they've seen success from Fortune 500 companies all the way down to mom-and-pop shops that are trying to expand. And so 100 employees is a perfect number, very trainable. So based on my research, your company values trust, being transparent, staying up to date on your customers' needs and wants. So have you ever found it difficult for your staff to communicate with their sales team and within different departments about management and the direction of the business and ultimately the processes that you guys have been trying to improve to drive up sales?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we've had a hard time keeping track of our clients' current needs due to the insufficient CRMs that we have a mix of at this firm.
Okay, makes sense. I think that if everyone got on the same page with Salesforce, very user-friendly, I think that it would improve your processes tenfold, and you'd ultimately see a return on growth that we've discussed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How would a better CRM platform help Five from a financial standpoint?
Well, I think if we had such a system like SalesForce, we could retain business at a higher rate as well as sustain our growth trends. Both of those would be a huge for us, of course.
Yeah, honestly, I've always said retain and build. If you retain the business, retain the clients, they're not leaving, and then you build upon that, and you just see that's where your growth has been from, and we don't want to lose those clients. And so if we want to retain and build, I think you need to have one CRM platform for every employee on your Salesforce to use, hence our name Salesforce.
Right.
And then you don't oversaturate your clients. And so that's one solution to a problem with growth and seeing growth is that getting everyone on the same page, streamlining your processes ultimately. Could I ask, what are some of the biggest issues you've faced so far with your current system?
Okay, so the lag time has been a pretty big issue for us. We need to streamline our processes when it comes to client relationships.
I agree. 100%. I think that streamlining your processes, making it simple but effective is the best way to see growth. Ultimately, you can only do that if you have everyone on the same page, from top to bottom, whether it's the 5 founders all the way down to your new associate salesman. Imagine you are using Salesforce. Like imagine this meeting never happened, that you have Salesforce as your CRM with your company. If you could see these issues we've discussed be removed from your company, how would this help you get closer to your goals that we talked about earlier as a firm?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. We would be able to save time and money. Both of these would contribute greatly to the growth that we wish to see with 5.
I agree. I think that this CRM would get you to those goals 100%. Salesforce, honestly, is very easy to implement. That's one of the things we pride ourselves on. It's so easy to have implemented into a firm, no matter what the size of the firm is. We have a 24/7 technical support. We have top-of-the-line training. Our training is bar none. And we have many more amenities that make this app stand alone. We understand there's Sugar CRM, Oracle, SAP, but they don't have the amenities that we have that take this from just being a platform into being a tool that drives your business forward. And I think that's the thing that stands out when it comes to Salesforce. And I know you'll see that once we hook you up with a free trial. Would you be ultimately impressed if an app could do that, a platform could do that for your company?
Yeah, actually, I'd be very impressed with Salesforce if that was the case.
What other CRMs have you potentially looked at to fix this problem?
The main one has been Sugar CRM, and they offer a really low price than most CRM platforms.
Price, that's a good point. Could I ask you why you didn't buy them? Because they did have a lower price, so there must have been some reason why you didn't buy Sugar CRM.
Yeah, they don't tailor the system specific to my industry needs, and I'm now finding out that we need to pay for what we get. If it means improving our processing and seeing that 150% growth, I'm okay with paying top value for CRM. To me, that's worth it.
I agree. Jeff, today what we've talked about, I'm confident that Salesforce will exceed all your expectations and take you to the goals that you and your 5 founders want for this company. May I ask, who are the decision makers here at 5?
Okay. Well, at 5, there are 5 founders. We all went to college together. The 5 of us need to come to an agreement because that's important to me over which CRM we would like to implement. We are bringing back the best products to do an extended presentation.
Well, it seems with this extended presentation, you guys seem to have the pick of the litter, for lack of a better term, at which CRM and which company you want to put your trust in. Not necessarily put your money, but really put your trust in to drive your company forward. And I think that Salesforce is a company that you could trust. And ultimately, we will have you guys with a 30-day free trial, your whole company top to bottom, before that, for those 30 days or how many days between that day of presentations, so that not only you, but the 4 other founding members and down the line, your Salesforce team will get used to this platform, and we'd love to hear feedback, positive, negative. We've had ultimately a lot more positive feedback. This app has really helped companies, so we want to hook you guys up with the free 30-day trial So when we come back to the presentation, not only do you and the 4 founders have a better idea of what this app can really do, but it gives you time to see growth and see actual statistics on your data and your company to see does this app really work for us, or is this guy kind of selling to us? So we'd like to see you actually see results before you trust us with ultimately your capital. I hope that SalesForce will give you guys a better picture of how to improve your B2B processes, and honestly, when can we start getting you guys set up with this system? Because we're excited to have your business. Hopefully, we hope to see you guys at that presentation meeting. But we really want to hook you guys up with that free trial and get the ball rolling, get the training going.
Yeah, with the B2B processes that you're talking about, that would be fantastic. I really appreciate having the ability to test drive the platform before committing to a purchase. That will give me time to understand the platform myself, and as a founder, I really need that. To be clear, to conversate with all the other founders and to tell all my other employees. Now, with getting the system started up, I think as soon as possible would be great. We really need positive feedback from our employees to see some real change on their end.
Awesome. I'm sure your employees will see the benefits SalesForce is going to bring your company, but not only your employees, I think that your customers will see it. I think they'll see your reputation will be changed from a company with lag time to a company that doesn't have enough time for anything but customers. Your growth is going to be substantial. You're going to be put in overtime. You're going to call the wife, you're going to tell her you're going to be home late because you are going to have more growth than you can handle. And you and the 4 members will be very happy with SalesForce.com. Are there any other questions that I can answer for you today about Salesforce?
No, I think you really hit home with it. I think I've learned a lot about Salesforce today.
Awesome. I'm very happy with that. Well, we'll get right on setting you, your 4 friends that are also your founders, and the rest of your team up with full access to our CRM for 30 days, and we can talk more days if the presentation day is further away. We can get you guys, more of a trial. I really look forward to seeing you guys at that presentation, and I thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.